I've been on a mission to find the best yeast for making alcohol, and what I've found may shock you. So this race kicked off a few weeks ago, and I've been at the edge of my seat ever since. I made 4 batches of mead with 4 types of yeast, keeping all other factors the same. Since then, I've been monitoring the speed at which sugar is being converted into alcohol. I wanted to see if certain yeast strains produce alcohol quicker than others. Now, before I reveal the numbers, there are a few interesting things I have to point out. So each of these have all retained that same golden color from the honey used at the start. You can also see that sediment has accumulated at the base of the jars, which is dead yeast, and this was consistent among all the samples. Another thing I noticed is how clear these have gotten just in the last couple days, and how you can see them degassing. What's interesting about this is I expected these to gradually clear over time and possibly at different rates, but instead it seems like they all cleared up suddenly and at the same time, suggesting that yeast type may not impact clarity at all. So from a visual standpoint, I can't seem to differentiate any of these, but let's take a look at the data. So these all started with a specific gravity or sugar content of 1.074, and if they ferment dry, meaning that all of the sugar is consumed, they should finish out at 1.0. As you can see, 71B and 1118 have finished fermenting first. This is a surprising finish because if you've been following, you may remember that 1118 was in last place in week 1, making this quite the inspirational comeback. All in all, they've performed relatively similarly, and I expect 1116 and D47 to cross the finish line in the next week or so. Now, when you're making mead, speed alone is just one factor to consider when choosing yeast, and the real test will be how they compare in taste. I'll be tasting these as soon as they finish, so make sure to follow and stay tuned for that.